AskReddit by Alison Lyons. Fathers of Reddit, what's the most rewarding part about being a father? The thing about kids people without them don't get is children want the perfect relationship with you. Nowhere else will find this kind of opportunity. Not from your significant other, not from your best friend, nowhere else. It's on you to give it to them, but it is beyond description how wonderful it feels to be accepted absolutely and to have such an amazing love in your life. My niece and nephew get very excited when I come over. They want me to put them on my shoulders, run around, play with toys, whatever comes to mind. It can be tiring, but that fraction of time when they're so excited to hang out with their uncle makes me excited for when I have my own kids, even if all the times aren't good. Being able to hang out with your adult children and actually really like them. Also, your daughter's weddings. My son turns 22 next month and I feel this so much. Looking back, I feel bad that I wasn't always there for him, especially after his mother and I split up when he was 4. Thankfully, both she and I were supportive of each other as co-parents and covered for each other when needed. 90-minute work commutes are tough, but so is raising a kid on a single person's salary. Luckily, he and I have a great relationship. He's living at home with me while he goes to school and we get along fine. It really helped that we both love video games and played a lot together while he was growing up. I could never beat him in Mario Kart, and still share common interests in video games and D&D. I am so blessed to be his dad. Becoming friends with the people you raised. Watching them get better than you at things. Realizing that they're a bit like you, but better in a lot of ways. Being the person they come to with good news or bad news. Watching them become their own people. Our kids have a lot of us in them, but they are different from us, too. We could never have predicted who they'd be. 100%. You nailed it. My kids are intensely likable. I feel like they get me and I get them. Not a father, but I have full-time custody of my nephew, 15. I enjoy watching him come out of his shell. He lived in a not great environment for many years, and seeing him with his new friends, chatting with his grandma, and being around the house asking questions and participating fill me with joy. He comes up to me well after he should be in bed, and talks to me about his life, his problems, his triumphs, and I am happy that he has so much to talk about, and that he is comfortable talking about it with me. Father here, reading your post made me tear up out of joy for you a little. That is such an incredible relationship you have built with your nephew and you should be very proud that you filled that role for him. My 6-month-old daughter recently decided that I'm her favorite person ever, for the time being. Nothing brings me to life like seeing that little girl light up whenever she sees me. Hard to have a bad day. My 1-year-old girl gets excited when I get home from work and walks up to me arms wide, laughing and screaming in delight. I forget all about work BS when that happens. Having somebody to mow my lawn. The first time my 14-year-old cranked up the Husqvarna, I nearly burst into tears. Watching them be kind when other kids are acting like little suck faces. Alternatively, getting an unprompted genuine apology after your kid was being a little suck face. I don't think it's exclusive to fatherhood, but giving my kids what I never had is rewarding. Also, my kid is athletic. It's awesome seeing him own other kids and sports. Every morning, my still half asleep child carrying his blanket, his teddy, his Patrick stuffy and a soother in his mouth, come downstairs and flops on me for a cuddle and I love you daddy. He loves mommy but I'm his world. No one else even comes close to loving me that much. Seeing my children learn to become kind. I'm proud of them most of all for who they are inside. I think a lot stems from basic manners. For me, it's just hearing an I love you, daddy from my son. Like, this little guy genuinely, unconditionally loves me. It makes my heart swell whenever I think about it. And it's worth more than literally anything else in the entire world to me. For me it's daddy, you're my best friend. Our 29, 27, and 25-year-old kids came over for dinner. Our dinner conversations are hilarious. They all turned out so differently, but also the same. They are kind and smart and curious about the world. They are funny, brave, and pursue their hobbies and interests with energy. Seeing your kids grow up to be successful and compassionate young men. 3 boys dad. My daughter is only 7, so I don't think I've experienced it yet, but there is nothing more rewarding than smiling at her and having her smile laugh back at me. It's so much work, but she makes me happier than anything else in the world, and I'll fight to support and love her as she needs until the day I die. I have 1-year-old girl and a 3-year-old boy with autism who I break my back for, but day to day just to see them happy and fed playing with their toys is enough to keep me giving it my best. Claiming a dependent when filing for taxes. Seeing someone who is awfully similar to you experience the world for the first time. Seeing them make new connections, develop tastes, enjoy some of the things you enjoy. It's give you a lot of perspective on your own life and personality. Knowing that I am better at one thing than anyone else in the world, tickling my kid. I'm a father of a 6-year-old girl. I'll die 100000000000000000000 of the slowest and most painful deaths ever for her, so she's good now and in the future in every aspect. That's number 1. 2 is she wakes up with me and kisses me and hugs me and says I love you and tickles me and makes jokes for me and tricks me and make me chase her and makes me laugh and makes me mad and makes me smile and makes me cry and makes me feel every human emotion. I'll never trade anything her. She's my angel. Best thing I ever could have asked for in 1000000000000000000000000000000 lives. She's my baby. Every time he says daddy or I love you just fucking melts me. My sperm donor post biological dad wasn't around, so I only ever wanted to be was a good father. Seeing your little offspring going through life. Everything, the good, the bad. There's nothing that compares. I have almost undeniable proof I got laid at least once. Seeing your children succeed whether you had anything to do with it or not. When you are able to give them what you always wanted as a child, thus ending the circle of neglect.